Let me remind you, by the way, where we are, in case anybody needs to be reminded. 2 months ago, Charlie Kirk got shot in the face, most likely by a leftist. And whether you think there was a conspiracy or whether you believe the official narrative, regardless, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of left-wing Democrats celebrated that. Whoever you think killed him, it almost doesn't even matter for the sake of this argument. Because whether it was Israel or the Mormon Mafia or the government, whoever it was, or Tyler Robinson, hundreds of thousands of leftists celebrated because some polemical activist, a live streamer, got shot in the neck and executed. A 31-year-old father, recently married, head of a college campus organization. They celebrated that he got shot in the neck for no reason, for basically expressing moderate conservative politics. That's where we are. Okay? That's where Americans are. We have 40 million illegals in the country. Half of the country is now non-white, and a good percentage of those people hate us. They hate our ancestors. They hate white people. They want to take our stuff. They think that we are richer than them because of slavery and racism. And so they want to raise our taxes to fund free healthcare, free education, free food, free everything. And as time goes on, they're going to increase their share of the electorate and then therefore increase their share of government power in order to achieve this. To hurt white people, take from white people, and give to themselves. Open up the borders for more immigrants. Open up the borders for more illegals. These are the kinds of people, in addition to white leftists, that are celebrating political violence against somebody like Charlie Kirk, who believes that the same things that we believe, and actually maybe believes 30% less of what the rest of us believe. Certainly what we believe in the wake of his assassination. That's where we are.
Exactly, and this is insane that we are at this point. Just look what happened last night in New York. That says already enough, right? And I feel like I'm a legal migrant myself, so can you imagine? But I completely agree with everything Nick just said here. Like, he is so right. You can say whatever you want about this man, but you can't call him a liar. There are so many people coming into our country who really wants to change the United States. And I'm asking why. Why do you want to go to the United States if you really want to change the whole country? We should defend the United States, the culture, the country, because if we don't do it, who will do it? America first. Don't forget this.
And we got there because the mainstream media and on social media, they have been gaslighting half the population into thinking that white people are evil. Trump is Hitler. Trump is a Nazi. The right wing are fascists. The right wing are Nazis. This is where we are in America. Now, let me ask you something. What has been done about any of it? Has Antifa been rounded up? No. Has there been a thorough investigation into Charlie Kirk's death? No. Have any of the people celebrating, collaborating in the hit job, have they been held accountable? No. Are there mass deportations? No. In the aftermath of my interview with Tucker Carlson, I have been called a Nazi. I have been called a monster. 2 months ago, the same people that were saying the left killed Charlie by calling him a Nazi, they need to turn down the temperature. They need to soften the rhetoric. The same people that were saying that 2 months ago, today are saying that I'm a Nazi, I'm a monster, I'm the worst person ever. Why? Because I said we're too Israel first. Because I'm an edgelord, because I'm a right-wing edgelord. I've said things about Hitler. Last night, Republicans got destroyed in the election. They lost significant ground in states like Virginia and New Jersey. In New York City, a race communist, a Muslim immigrant democratic socialist who said he's going to tax white neighborhoods to give free services to the rest of the city, he just became mayor of New York City. And the same night that that's happening, we have the head of the most prestigious conservative think tank putting out a message like this. That's the message? It's an apology for anti-Semitic tropes? I'm sorry for my word choice. Venomous coalition is an anti-Semitic trope. We need to challenge Tucker more. Does anybody believe that is the message that America wants or needs right now? Is that good for Republican politics? Is that good for Republican voters? Is that good for any voters? Is that objectively good for anybody? Is that even true? We all know what is going on here. It's obvious. Let's just say it directly and explicitly and openly. The Republican Party, as we all know, has been hijacked for a long time by a tiny but extremely rich and extremely vocal and aggressive and influential group of pro-Israel Jews. Everybody knows that.
I don't think everybody knows that, and that's why it's very important that Nick is saying this. And also, I don't think it's just the Republican Party. I feel like it's almost the whole of the USA who is in this position now. And again, it's very scary, because if it's Israel, then it's fine. Everyone is acting, oh, no problem, it's fine. But imagine if it was like Chinese. If Chinese had so much power in our country, everyone would freak out. Everyone would freak out. But once it's Israel, no problem, it's all fine. Isn't that kind of weird, this double standard, that our country is being held hostage by such a tiny country? That's kind of crazy, right? And everyone thinks it's fine. I don't agree with it, and I think this really needs to be solved, because this is a very big problem. It's for real, just imagine.
They use their money, they use their influence, they bully, they intimidate, they are reckless, they are irresponsible. Look at Mark Levin, look at Ben Shapiro. These are not temperate, moderate, sensible people. These are lunatics. They get up on stage and they scream at the top of their lungs, scream and yell about terrorists, Hamas, Islamo-Nazis, Islamo-communists, Hitler and neo-Nazis. They are insane. People like Shabbos Kestenbaum and Bill Ackman, they were Democrats 2 years ago. Now they're in the Republican Party. You know what Shabbos Kestenbaum said in an interview this weekend? He said, we need to put Jews first. That's a quote. He said, Jews need to be Jewish first. He said that in an interview with Israeli media in Israel. He spoke at the Republican National Convention last year. He's suing Harvard for anti-Semitism. He's met the president multiple times. Mark Levin got on stage at the Republican Jewish Coalition this weekend and said that powerful Jews need to use their resources and their position to punish anyone that criticizes Israel. He said, we're tired of hearing about the West Bank. We're tired of hearing about genocide. We're tired of hearing about AIPAC. He said, we're taking names and we'll make our decisions about 2028. Just who do these people think they are? And we all know what happened to Kevin Roberts. The difference between Kevin Roberts and Tucker Carlson is this. Tucker Carlson doesn't have a boss. He doesn't have stakeholders. He doesn't have board members. He doesn't have donors. He doesn't have employees. He's got a small production staff, and he's entirely independent and self-funded. He's in a cabin up in Maine, which he runs using ad revenue. Tucker Carlson can do and say whatever he wants within reason. Kevin Roberts, on the other hand, running a think tank, is beholden to his donors, to the board members. He's beholden to his own employees. He's beholden to partner organizations like the Coalition or Task Force for Fighting Anti-Semitism. And we all know that when he defended Tucker Carlson, there was a revolt among the stakeholders, among the interested parties, all the aforementioned groups of people that he has to answer to. And they said, if you don't apologize, if you don't delete the video, if you don't condemn Tucker, if you don't hire a Generation Z ambassador to be pro-Israel, if you don't bring all the junior staff members to the Shabbat dinner, then you're finished.
So this is literally how they can hold you hostage. Like, they give you money, and once they give you money, they have power. So you have to act, and think like how they want you to act, do, and think. And if you don't do this, you have big problems. So all these people, they are just like puppets for like their big donors. And I don't have to explain you who their big donors are. The same goes for Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk. The biggest donors of Turning Point USA, you can find this easily online, what kind of people these donors are. And the moment that you switch on what they want you to say, for example, look what happened with Charlie Kirk. The moment he changed his vision and his opinion about Israel, look what happened to him. Isn't that kind of suspicious? Isn't that kind of weird? So you should be really careful. The people, they don't give money for free. They give you money because they want power. And if they give you money, they can hold you hostage. And that's literally what's happening here. That's happening in the United States in general, if you ask me.
They're holding him hostage. They're holding the Heritage Foundation hostage. They're holding the Republican Party hostage because of their outsized institutional influence. As a result, we have a Republican Party that cares far more about Israel. And in particular, it's not just that they care about Israel. They care far more about appeasing and placating and representing a small, aggressive, vocal group of Jews like Mark Levin, like the Republican Jewish Coalition. I know people are afraid of the word, but that's what it is. They are far more concerned with satisfying this special interest group than they are with Americans. And you see that reflected everywhere. Matt Walsh, who works for Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire, says, I don't care about Israel. I care about America. Can we just stop all the drama and focus on domestic concerns? In theory, I agree with that. But let's talk about some of the domestic priorities of this administration. Donald Trump was elected in part because of the Make America Healthy Again initiative. What has Robert Kennedy Jr. done at the Department of Health and Human Services? Have they banned seed oils? Have they banned dyes? Have they named the cause of autism? Have they done anything like that? No. But did you know they declared anti-Semitism a public health emergency within the first 60 days of the Trump administration? That's your Department of Health and Human Services under Secretary RFK Jr. How about the border? Donald Trump was elected to deport 10 million illegals that came in under Joe Biden. It was the promise of mass deportations. That's overseen by the Department of Homeland Security, headed up by Secretary Kristi Noem. Do you know that Kristi Noem is absolutely preoccupied with policing anti-Semitism? I know people that work in the department, and they say that a fixation in Homeland Security is revoking the visas of anybody that criticizes Israel. And that is what the DHS has been doing. They have been working with the State Department to review the social media posts of anybody that wants a visa into the United States. If you want to travel here as a tourist, if you are here on a work visa, if you are here on a student visa, Homeland Security is looking at your visa and they will revoke access or entry into the United States if they find criticism of Israel on your social media accounts. So we've deported 400,000 people in 2025. That's going to be the year-end number. It's nowhere close to 1 million per year. It's nowhere close to where it needs to be, which is 2.5 million per year. But they are combing through millions of visa holders' Twitter and Facebook accounts to see if they criticized Israel. How about the Department of Education, headed up by Secretary Linda McMahon? Are they going after the anti-white curriculum in the schools? Are they going after BLM? No. The Department of Education has seized the grants and the loans of 6 out of 8 Ivy League universities. Harvard and Columbia, and even non-Ivy League universities like MIT. At Northwestern, under pressure from the federal government, you actually have to attend a re-education program teaching you to be pro-Israel to attend Northwestern University in Chicago. That's what the Department of Ed is up to. What about the Department of War? The promise in 2024 was no new wars. We got into 2 new wars this year. We bombed Yemen for a month, and then we bombed Iran for the first time. We dropped bunker buster bombs on Iran's nuclear program, and Trump says we're not done. We're going to go back in. And who was that at the behest of? That was after Trump had lunch with Mark Levin back in June earlier this year.
And don't forget Venezuela as well. But isn't it kind of weird and suspicious that we have so many problems in our country, like real problems, and we're constantly busy with things like this? Like seriously, what? Maybe we should focus on our own country first. Maybe we should focus on the problems we have here. Because my tax money, I want it to go to the problems in my country, not in all these other countries. I don't give a damn about these countries. And we're like doing this on behalf of another country. So it's kind of insane. We are working our ass off. We are paying taxes. And all these people are busy with all these things what we don't even want them to be busy with. We have more important work to do in our country, if you ask me. And again, this is just my opinion, and feel free to debate me. But it's so sick. Just also what he said with the immigration. Just 300,000 people got deported, and they are busy with looking into tourists who want to come into the United States. They are looking if they are not anti-Semitic. This almost feels like a joke, right? There's more important work to do. Come on.
Why do you think Republicans lost? Why do you think Donald Trump has lost 50% of his support among 18 to 29-year-olds since the beginning of the year? It's because the golden age has not materialized for Americans. The golden age has not materialized for young people. Everywhere you look, every way you want to cut it, whether it's the Department of War or the Department of Education, Department of Homeland Security, Health and Human Services, State Department, which is revoking visas and trying to get Israel more land. How about the Department of Justice protecting Jeffrey Epstein, the Mossad spy? Everywhere you look, everywhere you cut it, the MAGA movement is forfeiting. They're giving it up. They're voluntarily losing. They're losing the forgotten men and women of America. They're losing the white people, the Christians, the young people. They're losing the Hispanics that came over in 24 in record numbers. They're losing everybody. They're losing everybody that isn't a psycho lunatic pro-Israel Jew like Mark Levin. Is it worth it? And why is that? We are being held hostage as a nation. We are the United States of America, biggest, wealthiest, most powerful country in the history of the world. Our sons, our brothers, our forefathers die in wars for this empire. We pay our taxes. We work our fingers to the bone for this empire, but it's not for us. Do we get the spoils? Do we get the fruits? No. The fruits and the spoils of all of it goes to a tiny and loud minority of bullies. Because people like Kevin Roberts and people like Donald Trump and people like J.D. Vance and all of them, they are all beholden to this group because they know that if they talk to Nick Fuentes, if they criticize Israel, you'll see the treatment that I got this past week. Look at how they talk about me on Twitter. And we all see what's going on here. Look at the coordinated attack on social media from everywhere, from all sides. Look at all the bad clips he's ever said. He's a Hitler worshiper. He's a Nazi. He's a monster. He's terrible. No one should be his friend. No one should talk to him. We're not stupid. We see what's going on. It's obvious. These are the same smear tactics, the same bullying, intimidation, harassment, the same psycho berserker tactics they've used for years. And everybody is sick of it. And newsflash, It's not working. I'm more popular than ever. Nobody knows who Mark Levin is that's under the age of 50. Mark Levin, who? Nobody watches Ben Shapiro anymore. People are watching Candace Owens.
And that's good, right? Because I feel like I don't trust Mark Levin and I don't trust Ben Shapiro at all. I said this before. They are controlled opposition, or they're not even controlled opposition. They are opposition, if you ask me. And I think this dual loyalty, that should be forbidden. It's like so scary, and it's like such a big threat to our country. These people, they are cosplaying like they're America first. They want America to succeed, but I feel like they don't give a damn about the United States. They are Israel first. They care more about Israel. So I'm getting sick of these people who are telling us what to do. Meanwhile, they are loyal to another country. Isn't that kind of weird, this double standard? And again, I'm saying this as a legal migrant myself. Can you imagine? But I came to the United States and I will support this country. I'm not loyal to another country anymore. No, the United States. That's where my loyalty is. And I feel like many of those people, they are not loyal to the United States. Meanwhile, they live here, they take all the, or they have like a good life here, and they get a lot of money here, but they are not loyal to the United States. And this really has to stop. This dual loyalty is so dangerous for our country, in my opinion. And again, excuse me for my English, I know it's not the best, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my opinion, and I feel like more people think like this.
My clips are going viral. I have millions of followers. I have millions of views because people agree with me. You can call me a Nazi. You better be careful. Because if I'm a Nazi, then there's millions of young people that are following a fucking Nazi. So you better be careful about those words. You're saying I'm a Nazi, I'm a monster. There's a million monsters then. There's a million Nazis out there then. Because they love my show and they agree with me way more than they agree with you, and they're pissed off and they'll follow me into battle. So you better be real careful. You're barking up the wrong tree with that. Either you're wrong and I'm not a Nazi and millions of people are, or maybe that just doesn't even mean anything at all. Forget even that. Millions of people don't give a shit anymore. You can call us a Nazi. We don't care about Nazis. We don't care about the Holocaust. We don't care about Hitler. We don't care about any of that. Millions of people are rising up and we're saying, this is our red line. We are drawing a line in the sand right now. It's America first or Israel first. If the GOP keeps going down the path of Israel first, if it doesn't turn around and reverse course, we're done. Fuck you. We're never voting again. Look at what happened. All these people voted for Trump, and look how he betrayed them. Donald Trump won the election 1 year ago, promising a golden age. He's more unpopular than ever. Why do you think that is? And I'm happy to see him lose. Democrats want to destroy us. Republicans do nothing for us. We're out. This is the line in the sand. You're either America first and you're with the Americans, or you're Israel first and you're with these lunatics. Kevin Roberts, you're my enemy. Okay? Kevin Roberts says, let's go win. He said, I'm going to talk to the young people. Let me tell you something, Kevin Roberts. Nobody will ever follow you because you don't inspire. Your weakness, your lassitude, your cowardice doesn't inspire anybody, least of all young men. Least of all young men that have had everything taken from them. This bald loser gets up and says, I need to be better. I should have chose my words more carefully. Choose your words more carefully. Motherfucker, we're at war right now. Do you understand the stakes here?
Oh, bro, Nick is on fire, like for real. And again, he is probably, you don't have to agree with everything he says. Always use your own brain. That's very important. But I'm sure there are many people who agree with this, who think like this. Maybe they will use different words, of course. But there are many people in the United States who actually think like this. They are so tired of it. They are just done with it. That's the best word. And again, I'm also curious about your opinion. Do you agree with Nick on this one? Do you disagree? Please share your opinion in the comments. Very important to say, I read all comments, so I'm very curious. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And last but not least, guys, I wish you all the best. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.